Hey, it's Jane. How y'all doing? Um, so I just made a video yesterday. I'm making another one today. So I wasn't really intending on. I wasn't. My intention was not to do one every single day. Um, because I really should be more productive around here, but I'm still kind of tired. So, uh, yeah, I had some thoughts, and and eh, why not? So I guess I'll just start with an update with what's going on. I noticed since yesterday, things are moving fast down there. Like I'm healing really fast, which is fantastic. Sorry, my nose is running, and I'm just gonna rub it all over the place. Um, yeah, I'm healing really fast down there, and not gonna complain. Not gonna complain at all. Um, I think, well, at least as of now, all the bleeding has stopped completely, and I'm now into the brown discharge, which is like, that's a step forward because it goes from bleeding to a brown slash yellow discharge to a yellowish discharge to a clear discharge, and that is where um, you kind of stay for a while. There'll always be some kind of discharge, but it eventually goes to clear. And once it's clear, you no longer have to douche with saline. So I'm in the brown discharge phase now, which I hope sticks. Um, and there's more discharge. There's by volume. There's more of it now, but it's brown. It's weird. Yeah, it's cool though. It's cool. Watching the healing process proceed as it was described to me at the hospital. I think that's it. I'm not going to say anything more about that stuff because, yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that's really changed since yesterday. Um, so I got, I, I'm active on Blue Sky, and I consider myself a pretty political person, uh, and definitely opinionated. Um, and so I hear things that kind of rub me the wrong way because I just think they don't have enough dimensionality to them. And I just earlier I was watching a video by Peter Zayan, from like 3 weeks ago, where he was talking about the collapsing demographics in China and talking about civilization collapse and how immigration isn't going to solve any problems in any nation because all of the big nations and all of the wealthy nations all have um, a higher demand for working age people than immigration could ever fill, right? And China seems to be collapsing the fastest. And this is all true. I'm not arguing with any of this. The demographic information stands on its own, and it's incontrovertible, right? We are facing civilization collapse, which means economic collapse, which means industrial base collapse, which means of cultural change of some kind. But I find people tend to take this to the next step, which to me is an illogical leap and is entirely founded on the the misguided belief that somehow humanity is special. Mm, mm. God, that rubs me the wrong way. We are so not special. As a species, we are so not special. So Are we facing civilization collapse? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is this going to cause economic collapse? Yes, absolutely. Does this collapse the industrial base and make industrial progress harder? No, no, it doesn't. It makes unnecessary production untenable, because if there's nobody to buy the stuff you're making, you can't make it, right? But does that slow down the progress of technological advancement? No, no. Even with a even with um, uh, a civilizational collapse, you still have very talented people doing very talented work, and the capacity, especially now, like, you know, you always have to contrast the present with the past, but the mistake you should never make is thinking the past is ever going to repeat itself. It won't. It can't. That's not how. That's not how history works. Uh, Someone on Blue Sky made a excellent observation, which I absolutely love, is that history rhymes like a poem, right? History does not repeat itself. Has never repeated itself. Will never repeat itself. Doesn't happen. However, themes, motifs do reoccur throughout time, and they're very important to watch, but they never play out in the exact same way a second time, let alone a third or a fourth or whatever, right? So, yes, we are facing a civilizational collapse because of the fact that we're not making babies anymore, um, and that's going to cause an economic collapse. Okay, that's a hardship, but humanity's been through hardships before. We'll be through hardships again in the future. You know, it's something you deal with. It isn't something that you set your hair on fire and run around screaming, right? That's not productive. Um, will it collapse the industrial base? Yeah, sorta, kinda. But at the same time, we're also developing new technologies in automation, um, and intelligent control systems, where we are entering a world where we can do literal one-off fabrication at reasonable cost, which is not something we have literally ever been able to do in the past. Like, this is literally something we have never been able to do in the past. But today, you can you can sit down in front of a computer, draw up an object, a machine that does something, right? And generate all the STL files, or all the Gerber files, or whatever manifest files you need to generate, and you can send these files off to a one-off production company that can do automated machining, like fully automated machining, fully automated additive manufacturing in metals and plastics, um, uh, populated printed circuit boards are dirt cheap. There is so much that we can do in a one-off way that's literally cost effective, that 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 new technological base can grow. And a lot of these companies that are doing this stuff, they're not particularly large, you know. The giant manufacturing companies, in fact, are the ones that are going to do the worst as population contracts, because mass scale manufacturing will become redundant. But the one off or the small batch production by small companies distributed across the globe is going to grow. Well, that isn't a technological collapse. That isn't an industrial base collapse per se, but it is a huge, huge, huge realignment of what we are capable of doing and what we can expect of the world in the future. And the thing that really rubbed me the most with Peter's video from 3 weeks ago about um, civilizational collapse is he does make that illogical leap to the catastrophe, the catastrophic ending of society. Whether people like it or not, human beings are animals. We may be the apex species. We don't deserve to be the apex species because in so many ways we're a fucking scumbag species. But I do agree that we are the apex species, but we are not the most important species. No species is the most important species. The entire ecosystem is what is most important. And what we are doing now is overpopulating. There are too many humans on the planet. We need a die-off. We need to cull the herd. It needs to happen. And it's going to happen through population decline because people aren't making babies. That's what's going on. It's happening. We're not going to reverse it. No matter how much the breeding fetishists like Elon Musk might think we are, it's not going to happen, right? Global population is going to decline, and it's going to decline relatively quickly. And that's going to be a good thing, right? Once human numbers are down to a manageable level where we can live in harmony with nature around us, with the increasingly high-tech technology development we're doing, such that we can reduce and ultimately eliminate our carbon footprint, because less manufacturing for fewer people means we need less power, which makes it more practical to do that by renewable means or nuclear power. I'm not opposed to nuclear power. I know there are a lot of people who are, but I'm not. I understand the actual physics of it, and it doesn't frighten me. But we can get rid of our carbon footprint by drastically reducing the number of people, and we can at the same time increase the quality of living of all those who remain. And this isn't like some kind of pogrom where we go and kill, billions of people. No, we will just die off naturally, and that's good. That's a good thing, not replace. Getting rid of population replacement is the solution to all of our environmental disasters that we're creating, and it's going to make for a healthier, happier human species, a smaller human species, an imbalanced human species with nature, but a much happier and healthier one with much higher technological capabilities. That's a future I think sounds to me like it's fantastic. That's the kind of future that I would like to see. Like a future of 10 billion people on the planet and all the forests getting cut down and there literally being no wild place you can go to that isn't literally crawling with tourists. That sounds awful. And anybody who thinks that sounds good, hey, we're not we're not going to be hanging out. So yeah, it pisses me off when I hear this because he's a smart guy. He has extremely good takes a lot of the time, but on the subject of civilizational collapse, he is dead wrong. We will collapse to a point of equilibrium where we will then be able to live in balance with nature, and we will have better lives, and we will have a much higher focus on discrete, bespoke, technological production versus mass production, right? Who wants to work in factories, right? Who even wants giant factories? We don't need that shit. If there's fewer people, you don't need that shit. You can have artisanal technology. You can have small mom and pop uh, um, additive manufacturing production facilities where there's like, 20 employees and they're selling products around the world, right? But there's thousands of them, you know? That sounds so much better than giant megacorps running everything. So, yeah, bring on civilization collapse. It'll be painful at first, but okay, I'm fine with that. And it's going to annoy a lot of people because I know I have these conversations on Blue Sky, and I used to have these conversations back on X, and boy, it's surprising how many people really get worked up when you say that a small human population living in balance with nature um, uh, triggers people. I don't know how, but it triggers people. But yeah, no, that's my thoughts on that. I am not afraid of civilizational collapse. You know, decades of pain are worth going through to come out the other side with a better society, a healthier society, a smaller society. I'm all for it. Bring it on. Um, my energy level's better today. I slept 9.5 hours last night, so I'm still sleeping crazy long. But my energy level feeling better today. So I think I might actually try and get some of these lights up. Get some stuff going in my bedroom. Feel a little bit of productivity. Um, yeah, I guess that's about it. This is just a short one. Yeah, had to say something. And again, you know, if it pisses you off, if it annoys you, if it triggers you, okay, I'm fine with that. I'm not here to make anyone happy. I'm here to speak my mind. So, yeah. When I do get everything up, I am definitely going to make a quick video just showing it all off because I'm so looking forward to it. It's going to be so pretty. I miss my lights and my warm and happy bedroom environment. So, ugh, still can't sit upright. I love y'all, and I will talk to you probably sooner than I had originally planned.